Alright folks, it's been a while since I made a video, but I had a little mishap with my little Volkswagen truck here. It's inside the garage and I don't have a lot of room, but I want to show you guys what happens here. Let me get the light. Alright. What happened was, and I'm sure everybody's always heard this, a kid cut me off in a parking lot. Well, this is exactly what happened. A 16-year-old kid had a driver's license 3 weeks, was playing Ricky Racer in the Hy-Vee parking lot, and zoomed in front of me, and I got him, I T-boned him. Now, of course, it's my fault. I hit him, so State Farm had to pay for his car. Took out both his doors, his driver's door and his passenger door. But it smacked up the front end of this car. Well, pretty hard for you guys to see. I guess you can see it there. The actual, what they call a frame rail in these little cars, is crushed. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. The front end's pushed in against the radiator. You can't leave it like this. The headlight, of course, is useless. It points to the ground. Bumpers, AFU, front fenders. The whole problem, this is all unibody. It's all spot welded together. So I thought I'd show you guys. I'm not an expert on this. I'm not a body guy. I don't like doing body work. I do some when I have to, but I don't like it. Whenever you do body work, later on, years later, it's going to rust. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no way, no how. So I don't like doing it. I don't mind working on engines. I built this whole truck out of pieces and parts, and it's a little Volkswagen pickup truck. The thing gets over 40, sometimes close to 50 miles to the gallon. But the problem is, once they're hit like this, they pretty much get junked. They're destroyed. So what I did, let me make sure I got enough cord here, is I cut the front end off a Volkswagen Rabbit convertible, a cabriolet. Now, it looks like you can just put one of these on. The truth is, though, they're all welded together and there's a whole bunch of stuff that's got to come off. Let me pick this up and show you. What I did is I just got medieval here. I used this Sawzall here and I just sawed the thing off. I just sawed off the inner fenders. I removed the outer fenders. They're laying over there. They're pretty good. A little bit of rust in the corners, top and bottom. I don't know if I'll use them. I got spares anyway. But I just sawed this frame rail off. I sawed the inner fender off. And I'm going to patch them and weld them back together on that one over there. Now, the reason I don't like doing this, I don't know how body shops do it, and it doesn't matter. You can see the inside of the frame rail there. That's actually got a coating on it. Some kind of a primer, whatever, right from Volkswagen. Now this particular piece came off a German car, so this was actually manufactured in, I think, Dresden, Germany. So if you look on the inside of here, everything's painted even on the inside, so there's no rust on the inside. If you can look at the picture, this is a 1985 Volkswagen, and very, very little rust. I mean, almost none. And that's because it's been painted. Even inside all these little places, it's all been painted. So that's why it doesn't rust out. The German cars don't rust nearly as bad as the American cars do. The American cars, that Volkswagen truck there, was made here in America. That was made in York, Pennsylvania back in 1982. Out of American steel, by the way. Now this was made in Germany in 85 out of German steel. So the difference is how quickly they rust. But I thought you guys might be interested in how we drill these apart. Obviously all this stuff is all welded together. You got a million spot welds on here. And I'll show you how we take them apart, how I take them apart. There's about 9 different ways. Now right up here, if I can get it down, right up here is one of my spares. This is a front clip off of another Volkswagen. Yeah, no, I got too many spares. But this one right here, I have already taken apart. I drilled all the spot welds off it. I ground them down. And I'll show you how we go about doing that. It sucks. There's nothing easy about it, and there's nothing precise. I don't know how body shop guys do this, and I don't care. Those guys are in it to make money. So, but you can see that this is where the frame rail actually went. It was right in here, and this is where the inner fenders come down, and they were spot welded together. So I want to show you guys. You can take them apart and clamp them all back together. Get them all lined up where you want them, and then weld them back together. So I'll show you guys how this is done, as much as I know. And I don't know anything about body work, so you guys leave all the comments you want. I still suck. That's just how it is. Body work is not my deal. But junking a car because the front end got smacked is not smart either. So they don't build these cars anymore, these little trucks. Believe it or not, this truck is rated to carry 1,000 pounds, just like the any half-ton pickup, and it does. Now, it doesn't have much power. The engine's only got, I don't remember, 54 horsepower or something. But you're not going to find an S10 or a Mazda that gets 40 miles to the gallon either. So this thing will carry your ass anywhere you need to go at 40 miles per gallon. So try that with any other kind of pickup. So anyway, the first stage here is I got to take these front fenders off, and I wanted to show you guys what the truck looked like before I started, and that's why I kind of made this little part of the video here. That extra opening on the bottom, for those guys that actually understand or have worked on these in the past, let me show you real quick. There's where most of the air comes through from the radiator right there, of course. Underneath, it's got two small ones from the factory. Oops. And I'll show you those when we get the bumper off. But this lower one down here, I added. And what's behind there, I'll show you real quick. It's an oil cooler. Volkswagen, as far as I'm concerned, just never did the correct deal with the oil coolers. Now this one here, you see these two lines coming down off the oil. And this will be more obvious later when I take the front clip off. But that's a Volvo oil cooler sandwich up there, the adapter. I don't know how well we can see this or not. I'm kind of trying to make this where you guys can at least make it useful. Anyway, it comes out of there. It's a thermostatic sandwich. So the oil, that's where the oil comes from, goes in and out of the filter. And it goes in and out of those two lines. The lines come down. And I come over here, it's mounted in this big old filter, this big old oil cooler here. Now, I want to tell you guys, this is the answer. This is almost a bolt-in. You've only got to shorten one hard line, and then you can bolt all of this in. You do have to cut a hole in the apron, and I'll show you. And in fact, the new apron I'm putting in, I'll have to cut a hole in it too, because I am putting this back in here. This is the cat's meow, man. It does work. I have an oil temperature gauge in the cockpit there, and it used to show about 120 degrees, 110 degrees in the summertime. Now put this oil cooler in here and shazam, 87 degrees centigrade. You can also see real clear here what happened to that frame rail. So buckled big time. So that's got to be cut off and a new one welded on. So this inner fender here has got to be cut off because it's different. So the outer fender has to be removed. The inner fender's got to be cut. This frame rail's got to be cut. And this apron has to be removed here. So a lot of work, man. Radiator's got to come out. It almost, I don't know if it'd be easier to pull the engine or not. It don't take long to pull the engine on these, but I don't know if I will or not. We'll have to see how it goes. But battery tray up there, I'd like to save that. This one's got a nice one on it. So anyway, mangle up just because some kid decided he wanted to play Ricky Racer. So one kid does something stupid, and now I got to have a lot of labor because you can't replace these trucks, and every one of these that gets trashed is just one lesson, you know, around here. So anyway, I'm going to get to work, and I'll keep making these videos as I go along, so you kind of see an idea. All this just to change that frame rail right there. Ain't that a pain in the ass? There's no way to straighten it. That ain't going to work. So you might take it to a frame shop, and they might get some out of it, but it's not ever going to be straight. So even a body shop would be forced to cut that one off and put another one in. So anyway, back to work, dude.